Hello, ni hao, 我叫老师 Farid Iskandar. My name is teacher Farid Iskandar, and today I will be teaching Mandarin lesson 3, which is around buying things. Specifically, I'll be teaching dialogue 1. The dialogue 1 focuses on a conversation at a restaurant between Farah and the boss, which is the shopkeeper, which translates to Laupan. So in the first dialogue, Farah says, 老板，请问一杯冰果汁多少钱? Which translates to, boss, may I ask how much is one glass of apple juice? And then the boss says, the 老板 says, 3.50 which is 3 ringgit and 50 cents. And then Farah asks again, 一杯青汁多少钱? Which translates to how much is one glass of orange juice. And now the dialogue continues. The boss 老板 says 4.0 4 ringgit. And then Farah says 我要一杯冰果汁和一杯青汁, which translates to I want one glass of apple juice and one glass of orange juice. 老板 says 好的, okay. And then Farah asks 一共多少钱, which translates to how much in total. And then 老板 says 一共7.50 50 which translates to 7 ringgit and 50 cents in total. So as you saw from the dialogue, ringgit just roughly translates to lingqi, while sen translates to xian. And just like in Malay and English, it's the first amount, the primary currency, and then the second amount, and then the secondary currency. It's not too different to how grammarly we do it in our own language. So 2 ringgit is lingqi, 2 ringgit, and 3 ringgit and 50 cent, 3 ringgit 50 sen, 3 lingqi 50 sen. Now, the difficult part is not necessarily the spelling of these new words, but more on how it's different across some different cultures. So, as you can see in Chinese currency, there is 3 units instead of just ringgit and cents. There is 3 units, which is yen, 1 Chinese yen, because yen is the Chinese currency in China, and jiao is 10 cents, which is 10 jiao equals to 1 yen. And fen is 1 cent, which translates into, which 10 fen becomes into 10 jiao. So there are 3 units to it. So you can say it's like a tertiary currency. And to in some cultures as well, in spoken Chinese, kuai is like a buck, and it also roughly translates to yen. And mao is jiao. So 10 cent also means mao. So as you can see in the example, 30 cent is san mao, which also translates into san jiao, as well as 490 yen is 4块9毛, and which also can mean 4 yen and 9 jiao. Moreover, this is less of a difficult part, as the last unit, mao and fen, is often omitted. So it's the same in Malay where we say 3 ringgit 50. So it's 3 ringgit and 50 sen. The same can also be said for Mandarin. So 490 yen is 4块9. It can also mean 4 yen 9 or 4 lingqi 90. So 3 ringgit 90 sen. So there are like 3 ways you can say it. So that can be a difficult part when learning this. As a form of exercise, let us try to identify these 4 items in Mandarin currency. So this pair of socks is 15 ringgit and 20 cents. So 15块2毛, 15 lingqi 2 xian. These 2 can mean the same, lingqi kuai, mao xian. So this long shirt 56 ringgit 80 sen. It will be 56块80毛, or 56 lingqi 80 sen. And these pants 74 ringgit 30 sen, 74块30毛, 74 lingqi 30 sen. And this hat 89 ringgit 90 sen, 89块90毛, 89 lingqi 90 sen. That's all for this dialogue and lesson. Hopefully you have learned something, and maybe this will help you for when you want to haggle or listen in on when people shop at Jonker Street in Malacca. Bye.